Hello out there, Randomizer fans, and welcome to this qualifying race for the Link to the Past Randomizer Hybrid Major Glitches Tournament. My name is Tyler Salt, joined in the booth here today by Malmo. How are you doing, Malmo?
I'm doing great. Got to do another one of these. I'm always happy to see these qualifiers get a restream and these runners get featured, showing off this relatively new mode for glitch runners to play around in.
Absolutely. We've got Dawnvenure on the left side of your screen and Baliame on the right side of your screen, along with 9 other runners in this race. Looking forward to it. Should be very fun to see here. I am not a glitched player for the most part, but Malmo is, and so Malmo will be able to help explain all of the game-breaking stuff that we will see in this seed. So as we get ready to begin, Malmo, can you tell our audience and me to a certain extent what hybrid major glitches is all about?
First, I want to explain what overworld glitches is. It's a logic mode that expects you to do out-of-bounds clips in the overworld. As we find a hookshot in our first chest, it's a really good tool, and you'll see why in a second. But hybrid major glitches also add some underworld out-of-bounds clips. They're not the whole go under the floor thing that you use to go to the Triforce. It's just a couple diagonal walls you can clip through, but it has a pretty significant effect on the logic of certain dungeons, making the game a little bit more dimensional in both the underworld and the overworld. So as we see Baliame decide to go for the Hylia Island, has seen something he wants there. Half magic. You can't, yeah, you don't say no to half magic. Dawnvenure does, though. He's going to go straight to the hobo. This is a clip that gets you straight into the hobo using a fake flipper.
Oh, and there's a bow in Sanctuary. So you'll note, of course, that our runners start with boots, which they do in every glitched mode, those boots being really, really helpful to do a lot of the clips into walls and stuff like that. Our dungeon prizes here, we had crystals at Hera and Desert, regular crystals, as well as a pendant in Eastern. And our runners are going to continue on. A lot of good stuff so far. 3 checks and three good items to have, that's for sure.
Yeah. Anna has also found a safety at the hobo and has decided to come back for the other one because half magic is just that good.
So all of a sudden, like right away here in this seed, we see our runners doing stuff that is not an open that you would normally see, right, in a non-glitched mode here. What else might we see really early on that would differ from perhaps what a runner would do in a non-glitched mode really early on?
One option they have open to them is to immediately climb the mountain. You can climb the mountain through several different means, all of them involving out-of-bounds clips. So getting to the mountain gives you access to Tower of Hera, as we find a mirror and bonk rocks, making the mountain even more appealing. It also gives you access to Graveyard Ledge. You can drop off the mountain and land on Graveyard Ledge, and there's 4 bombs in those pots. So if you are short on bombs, that can be your first source of bombs. Very good.
Nice. Yeah.
Very good stuff we're finding here.
Nice. Yeah, and notably, Baliame did not check bonk rocks, so does not have that mirror.
Yeah,
hopefully for his
check
sake,
it now.
Get there early.
I hope he checks it now, going up the mountain. No, this is Kakariko. He just forgot. That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. Hope not like that'll be the only time that he's right next to bonk rocks. And mirror, mirror has definitely there's some glitching opportunities with mirror, but I would imagine that most of them are gonna come up once we have a moon pearl.
The nice thing about mirror, though, in hybrid major glitches, you normally think you need the mirror for swamp, but you actually can skip it in this mode for everything except Mimic Cave and certain locations in the Dark World when you don't have the moon pearl, and Pyramid Fairy if you don't have red crystals. So it's it kind of gets reduced the same way Mitz gets reduced, where you can just kind of clip around it. Mainly because of what we can do with Swamp, which I'll explain later. But it is a good thing to have. It's convenient to be able to mirror when you want to, and also just gets you faster access to certain locations. So Dawn and Baliame both choosing to go to Kakariko with all the stuff that they have found. The sword is definitely going to help that we found in Cagwell. It's gonna make the mountain a lot safer if they do go there next. And another sword in Cackwell, nice. There's always a sword here.
Love to see those early swords, just make getting around a lot easier, improves our ability to survive. Certainly best defense is a good offense, and runners are always going to be happy to see a sword.
So the next thing that people usually do after Kakariko is they go down to Desert, and Desert is accessible through a clip near your race game, and we consider it kind of part of the Kakariko loop and part of the overworld. Even in the inside of Desert is considered overworld by most runners, so we'll very likely see them dip in even though they can't clear it because they don't have fire.
Now, that only lets you get into the... Does that let you... oh, well, you don't have fire, so you can't beat it, but you could get into the back without the glove, that means,
You
right?
could.
Yeah,
You can get in, but then the problem is you can't get out again,
just,
so it has to be the last thing you do if you're going to do that.
That makes sense. So what are our runners thinking? What do we think is going to happen next? I would imagine a mountain climb, given the equipment that we have here, is would be a good idea. We've got the mirror, we've got the hook shot, and we can kind of glitch around up there to get into Hera a little bit faster, I believe, as we see a nice clip into the desert area there from baliame.
Yeah, mountain definitely is. It's the gateway to a lot of places, and I think with Dawn having the mirror might go a different direction from there than baliame, because the mirror also opens up Pyramid Fairy, which you can use the mirror and some shenanigans to place your portal somewhere you're not actually at, and then go to that portal and clip into Pyramid Fairy that way. Baliame doesn't have that option until he goes to Bonk Rocks, so he might continue up the mountain, do Hera and East Death Mountain. Those are pretty dense locations available to our runners and fairly safe. Dawn has gone up again. I wonder where he's going. Oh, buying bombs.
Buying some
sense.
bombs, yeah. Now it does... considering that even with our glitches here, right, baliame to get up to the mountain is gonna have to save and quit to sand at some point. So luckily, and run right past Bonk Rocks there. So hopefully, at least that will remind him that he needs to hop in there, and will get his mirror before too long.
I wonder if he didn't forget if that's just his normal route. Like he always does Bonk Rocks with the mountain climb. Oh, Dawn is doing something spicy. Okay, this is called a map wrap. It's very dangerous. Yeah, because it's extremely dangerous. If he moves right at all, he hard locks his game.
Oh, wow.
But he says, I found the bow and I want to go to Eastern now. So he clipped back up from Desert and is going to Eastern. Oh, he didn't do Desert at all. He went to get the bombs.
Yeah, no, he did that from the bombable hut in Kakariko Village. That
is super slick. It makes Desert a little bit orphaned, but he can come back later with more stuff, like the glove to do Checkerboard Cave. He might find a book, might find fire for Landmo, so I can see why he would consider putting that off. Baliame is taking a more traditional overworld glitch route of checking these kind of overworld checks that surround Desert. As a rule of thumb, how you realize is he doesn't have bombs. As a rule of thumb, though, anything that's kind of next to each other on the tracker is probably next to each other in real life, too, and you can just get there. So he's just going to come back later. That area, just like what Dawn did, he might be thinking that area gets better with gloves and with fire and with book.
Yeah, instead, running over here and is going to probably here buy some bombs at this shop, and then we'll see where he head next, whether he heads over into the eastern area where Dawn is, or I can't imagine that he'll go back to... oh, well, he is saving and quitting. Maybe this is the mountain play here. Nope.
Link's house, South Shore, or just Eastern, maybe, but no, it's South Shore.
Yeah, if it was just Eastern, he probably would have just run over there from the Lake Hylia shop.
Yeah, he wants to continue his route, so... No, I think if I were him, I would have farmed bombs at this bushes here, because you can get 50... There's two 50-50 bombs in these bushes. But I can see, sometimes you farm them and just get nothing, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
So baliame is showing us...
Yeah, this way we can get K45 here, and then can you get to Desert from right here and get over back to Regina? Yeah.
Yeah, you can just clip across the slope. He's going to teleport, though, I think. Both are valid options. So there's a lot happening at once right now. Both of them doing checks that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, so far, nothing of note in Eastern Palace. And we'll see what Agina has. Welcome to our Raiders from SpeedGaming 3 to this qualifying race in the Hybrid Major Glitches Tournament. All of that for 20 rupees there for baliame from Agina, so that can't feel good. Dawnvenure is going to go ahead and take out Armos Knights here.
Interesting choice to use Berna here. It's a lot safer because those Armos damage for 1 heart, or Igors.
Right.
So it can get really hairy in here if it gets away from you.
baliame still, or go down here to the South Shores. We get blue mail, so our runners are going to have. We'll see if baliame heads to Hobo, gets that red mail, but Dawnvenure also certainly going to get red mail.
He's going to get that whether he likes it or not. Thankfully, he has the mirror, so death warping isn't really as big a deal. But when you don't have the Moon Pearl, you do want to make death warping better because there is a logical requirement for a Dungeon Bunny revival where you die in a dungeon to get Link State. And sometimes you see that in like Ice Palace, you get the mitts and you're expected to fake flipper there and die. So having too much health can be a hindrance.
I know I always feel like I have too many hearts in this game. That's definitely true. That's not true at all. But here's Armos Knights from Dawnvenure's baliame showing us Mini Moldworm Cave. Nice job there with that lower right setup, getting those arrows into Armos to keep them from getting set, and therefore keeping them stationary for a while. Only an arrow refund, so that Eastern play, a total bust for Dawn.
It's a total bust, but Sahasrah's Closet is also open to him, and he might find something good there.
That's
so
true.
This is kind of a way to justify going to Sahasrahla, but it is a pendant that didn't pay off.
On the other hand, baliame got a Tempered Sword down there in Mini Moldworm Cave.
Some really nice early safeties and early equipment. Really, that's just that Moon Pearl that's missing right now, and of course a bunch of items we need for Go mode.
Now you can clip down to the Zora area from Death Mountain, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so, but I wonder, it looks like baliame's still still looking to, that was setting up a water walk there in Ice Rod Cave. So, gonna head up to Zora here, has Zora money before heading up the mountain.
Water walk is a common play because it's in logic to do that. And currently is his only way to get into Waterfall Ferry and have a link and have Water Walk State inside to open the chest. Because Fake Flipper wouldn't cut it without the Moon Pearl. So you usually want to find a time to route this in unless you have a plan to get there otherwise. And there's a hammer in Waterfall, so this is paying off for him. That's
pretty good. We see Dawnvenure has hopped through some walls and is in the Old Man Cave now, is making that play up the mountain. So we'll see what is up there. Have to imagine it's something. There's a cape over on the Zora ledge. That is awfully suspicious.
That was there in the last qualifier. I distinctly remember both runners clipping to it. Let's see. With Berna in hand, you might not, but I think baliame is choosing to go back for it. If not that, then Hobo, because he hasn't been there yet. This is a play for Hobo because he thinks he has this water walk, not anymore, but he has a normal walk now.
Yeah.
Wonder where he could have also been going for a Death Mountain ascent on this side that gets you to East Death Mountain. I think he's changed plans. He's going to go to Sahasrah's Closet. You can clip down from there. He can buy a potion on the way as well, but he's too poor.
Meanwhile, Dawn is in Tower of Hera all of a sudden. I even missed that, but. I'm going to do a Hera pot here. This is a crystal. So we'll see. Go ahead.
Yeah, so did you take a note of what Dawn found in the first 2 chests?
I did not. But it was, tell you what, I just figured out, tell you what it is not a key.
Nope, because there's the big key.
So-
welcome to hybrid major glitches, where the big key can be wherever it wants, because you're expected to get here from Misery Mire and open doors with the Misery Mire big key. And that is the special sauce of this mode.
Yeah, so we'll see some shenanigans, in particular, I believe, involving Hera and Mire and Swamp are the big ones that are all kind of interconnected. Is that right?
Yes. So from Hera, you can also get to Swamp, and you are also indeed expected to carry a small key from Hera to open doors in Swamp. But that Hera small key is not really the way you're intended to do it. You're supposed to take a Mire key, because Mire has an extra key in it that we don't expect you to spend in the Ruby Room in the basement. Because we find a book on Moldorm that we can check immediately. And this will pay off for Dawn because he hasn't been to the Aegina's cave area, and he'll be able to do Bombos Tablet as well. So baliame,
yeah, with that mirror here on Bonkrox, does remember it this time. That's
good.
Nice.
This was all planned. He said, I do Bonkrox with the mountain. This is a mountain check. So he'll be very happy to see that mirror here.
Well, maybe not so happy. A little salty there with that frustrated grab. Not sure it wouldn't have really done anything to change what he had done at this point, though, right?
Frustrated grabbing, or if he's just trying to dash down and accidentally grabbing the wall. Oh, he's doing a different Death Mountain Ascent. Oh, he hasn't checked Lumberjack yet, apparently. No, this is a Death Mountain Ascent that takes you to the top of the mountain directly. Lets him do Hera before rescuing the old man. We call this Lumberjack DMA because it's up here.
I get some fun pixels here. It's always good. Robna101 in chat asks, is there any way in this category for the logic to require killing Aghanim? Aghanim 1.
Yes. Lumberjack is the obvious one. But you can't get around that with glitches. You just need to kill Aga. That hole does not exist if Aga is not dead. However, there is a rare logical requirement where Moon Pearl is on the pyramid. That can still happen, but we have ways around that by using an out-of-logic glitch called Fake Flute. I wouldn't worry about it with our current equipment. We have the mirror. So the mirror also opens up the Pyramid Fairy. So with the Pyramid Fairy, you can also check Pyramid Ledge, and Aga is officially dead in the seed.
Hooray.
I don't think Dawn has been to South Shore. Am I correct?
You are correct. They did get 2 different progressive mails. One was at Hobo, and the other was in the dam.
So somebody was asking you whether Dawn got the flooded bottle. He has not yet. And we'll know he has because he'll get red mail. And then also a hammer from the waterfall. So there's a glove in East Death Mountain. Glove is hard required to do cold stare, and that's about it. Everything else is just random overworld checks that require glove. We can get around the requirement.
I was watching I think you were there too in chat, a speed gaming race maybe last week where the 2 featured runners, one of them was without a glove and the other was without a Moon Pearl for about an hour and 45 minutes, and they were just fine, which is just very odd and fun to see.
I remember Mr. Buyer without the Moon Pearl. I remember that.
That's right, yeah.
That was fun. He got to show us a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff in that one.
Moon Pearl is skippable in this mode, but we'll usually get it anyway because it's not going to work. Baliame, you picked up the heart midair.
No. Yeah, no, that'll mess with the bomb jump setups here for Harapot.
He's going to get a diagonal blast, and he'll be disappointed.
Would be able to reset that by mirroring and trying again, or just kind of defaulting to the hook speed.
Or he failed it a different way. It's interesting.
I don't know. He's not quite sure what's wrong either.
All right, Don has gotten his hammer. He has really good stuff, but still no Moon Pearl. So where do you think that Moon Pearl is?
Where is that Moon Pearl?
I think the escape is ripe. There's a lot of stuff.
All of escape is in logic. With Dark Cross isn't in logic, but could be right here at Graveyard Ledge. That'd be spicy.
So Dawn is setting up for Graveyard Ledge into back of escape. You saw him transition north. That was on purpose. That was not a mistake. He is correcting his camera so he doesn't get a Houlihan drop when he goes down there. This is very clever routing. I feel really bad for Baliame. He doesn't know what's going on. He is mirrored though. Hopefully he realizes
that will fix it. So the reason that happens is that your trajectory when you get hit by a bomb is affected by a particular variable that is set. It's an altitude variable, which if you collect the drop from that mini Moldorm while it is in midair, it sets that variable, and that variable being set is sufficient to prevent your bomb knockback from clipping you into the pot to be able to do Harapot there. So baliame bailing though, and
it is out of logic.
Oh, it is out of logic, so we'll be able to come back later and do that. Not going to be, and there was nothing super. There was the book in there, which hasn't led to anything yet.
Yeah, Harapot is too new to be in the logic, and also there's a debate whether it should be or not. Also worth noting that Dawn found Fire Rod in Graveyard Ledge on the way to the escape, and has also found a key and is going to Dark Cross out of logic. Who's actually in logic now because of the Fire Rod.
Yep.
Welcome to our raiders from SpeedGaming French. We got a Hybrid Major Glitches tournament going on. This is qualifier number 7. Our runners are doing clips in the overworld and underworld to get around the seed.
Bonjour. Bienvenue.
All right, Don has taken he has the glove and book now, and the fire. He has like everything he needs for desert, except the shovel, but yeah, we kind of hope we just don't find that ever. Love that route of going to Eastern. I'm too scared to do it personally, but
yeah, that hard rock, the hard lock there seems like a really steep price to pay for failure.
Yeah, you would have to do all of CAC again because there was a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, you gotta be real confident in that. Practice that a lot in the hack before doing it.
It's not hard to do. It's just terrifying.
Right. You just said like you hard lock if you press right at any point during
and it's
that
not
clip.
Just press right. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm never going to press right," because you can also get nudged right if you aim wrong.
Oh, jeez.
When you're trying to go onto the Staircase of Eastern, if you go too far, you'll nudge on the left side and get nudged right, and that'll also hard lock you.
Yikes.
So you really have to know what you're doing. There's a visual cue, and you have to be confident in it. Dawn is clipping back up here. He might be doing desert first. Yeah, he's gonna do desert. And then go to Bomba's Tablet.
That makes sense.
He can do that because he has the glove and can go across. If you didn't have the glove, you'd have to go to desert a different way. Like either using the book or clipping from the north.
Gonna pick up that 100 rupees that gets Dawn up to Zora money. He has not been up there yet. So we see baliame clipping up here to open the TR portal.
Well, interestingly, Dawn has been up there and he was too poor.
Oh, he didn't have the that's right. He didn't have the money to do Zora. But baliame gonna show us some Dark World nonsense here.
I think did he do Super Bunny Cave?
He did not yet, at least.
Okay, he's trying to find the mirror clip to Turtle Rock, but he should really do Super Bunny first, because he won't be able to get out easily. He can mirror clip out of here as well, but it's probably faster to do Super Bunny from the top using a mirror Super Bunny method, where you mirror on the same frame you go indoors and you get Super Bunny. So all of these checks are in logic and can have the Moon Pearl, because all of this Super Bunny stuff is in logic. Yeah, Mimic Cave is in logic. It's all accessible to us with glitches.
Wild. I love it.
See a Moon Pearl. Aw. Oh, he says, I don't want to do... He doesn't want to do Turtle Rock. He can, but Turtle Rock sucks.
I can't blame him.
You go in there, you can just find 2 keys and get, have nowhere else to go, and you have wasted time.
Yeah, just like in the same calculus comes up at cross keys a lot. It's like, yeah, I could do a bunch of stuff in TR here, but keeping track of where you've been to and and how many keys you need can be tricky. All
right, baliame is setting up this screen wrap mirror portal that I alluded to before.
So this is Pyramid Fairy, right?
Yeah, he's jumped down the mountain a couple times without fixing his camera, and what that's done is it's desynced him from his global coordinate. So if he were to press X on the map there, it would actually show him being at the pyramid. And when he mirrors, that's where the portal goes. So now all he has to do is clip down the mountain and walk there. which he will do via Graveyard Ledge and get his Fire Rod, and then go into Houlihan and exit Link's house and then go to that portal and do all of the escape.
Oh, see, and that's interesting because you can see that baliame did not reset his camera coming down here like Dawn did.
Yeah.
And so intentionally to get into that Houlihan state, I imagine.
Yeah, you can pick up a little money on the way too. You can see, you normally think, oh, we need 110 rupees for Kiki, right? But
No, not in this mode.
not in this mode. You'll see why. Kiki gets neglected in this mode.
Poor Kiki.
Yeah, he knows. He doesn't need the money. He's done. He's done spending money in this seed.
Well, potions are still pretty valuable in this mode, right? They let you do a bunch of stuff.
There is one, the blue potion specifically. You can use it to do that fake flute glitch, which lets you flute in the dark world and get into some checks that you can't normally get to as a bunny. That's not in logic, but it will get him to some of the in logic checks faster, like the ones in Village of Outcasts, because you're supposed to use the mirror to get off the mountain.
All right, just like that, Dawnvenure is done with a Desert Palace, gets a big 20 off of a Bombo's tablet, and is up 2 crystals.
And we're also on Butter Sword already, without even having a Moon Pearl. And that is why Aghanim is dead, because that is accessible with the mirror. And you can see why people put off the escape in this mode, because having the mirror makes it route so much nicer.
Right, yeah, you can do the whole pyramid ledge is my least favorite check in the entire game. So not being a glitch player, and so this does appeal to me, like being able to sensibly route in pyramid ledge, even with Pyramid Fairy, with escape, is fantastic. So
yeah, you know that every mode has its catfish and its pyramid ledge. This mode has that in King's Tomb and Hobo. Mm-hmm. Those are Sphere 1 checks that people don't like to do often because they're just one-offs and you can't really do anything with them. That's why you see people open with Hobo, because they say, if I don't do it now, I'm never doing it. King's Tomb is similar. You clip off the mountain similar to Graveyard Ledge, but then you're locked inside the rocks afterward and can't get out. So you just save and quit, and it's a one-off check that nobody wants to do.
Dawn picks up red mail and the second bottle from the dam, headed into Mini Moldorm Cave. baliame, meanwhile, making his way through the front of Escape. Now, I don't recall whether we saw the map here in the back of Escape, or whether we've already seen the map yet.
I don't either.
Well, either we have, or baliame doesn't remember either, because he is headed down to Zelda's cell.
Well, he also didn't do. Did he not do back of Escape?
He didn't do back of Escape. You're right.
So he doesn't know. He has no way of knowing.
Yeah. Runners do start with boots in this mode as well as in every glitched mode, is my understanding. Just
it is.
The boots, the boots make those clips, if not possible, then doable. You know?
Yeah, not a huge time loss. It's kind of a race balancing thing as much as it is quality of life, because the first person who found the boots would just have a huge advantage.
Yeah.
The similar thing happens in what we call major glitches, which is a category that this one spawned from, where the Moon Pearl is less restricted in where it can go because you're expected to one-frame clip and fake flute. So people racing major glitches would find that the person who finds the Moon Pearl first just gets a 10-minute advantage by not having to do all that stuff, which is why we invented hybrid major glitches. It's just better not having to worry about that. You know, this mode is already volatile enough in terms of the world is open to you and people can just go different directions. Having that extra point of volatility was not very conducive to racing, and nobody really liked racing this mode.
That makes sense. All right, Dawn is up. Gonna check Zora. We'll see if he hops over and grabs that cape there. I imagine that there's probably some kind of clip to get the item on Bumper Cave, and so that cape is purely quality of life, correct?
Correct. It's a simple teleport. It's easier than what you would do to get here, honestly. So he says, no, I already have Burna. The only thing cape would really be for is Spike Cave, so he doesn't need it. And he has red mail and tempered sword, and he doesn't need it as a safety either.
And is probably going to get butter as well, so that makes sense.
I would say he's going to get that very soon. I'm curious where he's going. Has he not been to... He's not wrapping his camera. He's going to pod? Oh, baby. We're going to pod. Okay, so this is pod. It's on the mountain.
As
you know. You walk into this cave, and then you're in pod. He's using the wrong pixel again. I need to teach him this. He did this last time, too. There you go. That's better.
Okay.
He knows the cue, but he was on the wrong, tile. There you go. Clip through a wall. This is our first underworld major glitch that we get to see today. And as you can see, we're in pod now, but it's still a cave. And when you're in a cave, you have a bunch of keys that you can use because the game gives you 255 keys to tell the game to not display keys. Oh, baliame is going here too. So we use one of them to open that door. It makes the routing a lot better once you correct your dungeon state. You may notice he has not opened any chests yet because opening chests would not be very wise. Dawn is trying to check his Dark World map, but finding out he's not actually in the Dark World. He's never entered the Dark World, so the game thinks he's still in the Light World.
I mean, that makes sense. Honestly, it's totally understandable for the game to think that. So, What would opening a chest in cave state do?
Well, if you open a chest and it's an item, it's fine. But that key would have incremented his key counter in the cave and not in the dungeon, and would have brought him from 255 to 256. And as you know,
0. Yeah.
Yeah, 256 is 0. You don't want 0 keys.
No.
Even worse, if you find the big key, it gets assigned to the cave and not to pod.
Oh no! So then there's no pod big key.
There's no pod big key, and there's only one person who knows how to skip that in this rule set, and he's not in this tournament, so we won't be seeing that.
Oh, that was mysterious. Now I want to know.
Well, if you want to know, watch the world record of all dungeons restricted major glitches speedrun.
Okay.
And you'll get to see it twice.
Is that Yuzu?
Yeah, it's Yuzu.
Yeah, okay.
Of course it's Yuzu.
Of course it's Yuzu. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. He's a good follow on Twitter, even if I understand exactly 0 what's happening in his videos.
I was secretly hoping Yuzu would join this tournament just so we can see a basement clip, but...
That would be fun. All right. Nothing of note in Palace of Darkness thus far, but still early going, still in the all business in the front part here with all of the keys before we get to the party in the back.
Yeah, another thing is, the way that routing works is Dawn has YOLO'd the Bolog side, or trying to think of how this has worked, but I think, oh yeah, you didn't do this first. Normally you do the front first before doing Bolog, because you have a chance to skip Bolog side because you open a free key door, and if it's 2 keys there, you can skip both.
But I believe the compass here was in the is in the ledge chest there. So
no, unfortunately, not a good layout for hybrid routing. You really want to see those 2 non-keys in the front that are not in the Bolog side, so that you can skip Bolog. But the C's not always going to let you do that.
Pod routing annoying, regardless of what mode you're in.
It's fun because it's different in every mode, and if you swap between the modes, you have some confusion sometimes.
Yeah, talk about seed bleed, right? Mode bleed is a whole different animal, I would imagine. All right, there's our pod big key. Fans of Divergence must love watching this mode. Our runners are in the same place right now, but they took wildly different routes to get to where they were. Have done things in very, very different orders so far here today.
Interestingly enough, they have the same stuff, but they have still done different checks. Like Dawn hasn't been to Mimic Cave. baliame hasn't been to Back of Escape.
Yeah, really, just that the dungeons that Dawn has done in Eastern. Yeah, he did go Back to Escape.
There was just a map and a small key as
underwhelming
Back of Escape.
All the dungeons in that Dawn has done in Eastern Desert and Hera that baliame hasn't done just had nothing of note in them. So they've got all the same stuff, even though Dawn a slight advantage on as far as dungeons completed. goes.
And what we might see from baliame is you might actually mirror to Eastern and do it now, which is giving some time back to Dawn that Dawn lost going to Eastern. But you're here, you're looking for a moon pearl and you haven't found it yet. I think Eastern is the next play. You almost feel like you have to do it because you're here. We found the flute. You may or may not see that get activated because we don't need a flute to get around. We have clips to get to Mire. As you see, we've already been to the mountain.
Both of our runners headed back towards Helmasaur King. Baliame on just one heart here.
Yeah,
I think one of those
King,
bottles had a fairy in it, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Helmasaur King is out of logic because of the lamp.
With Fire Rod, it's not that bad, though. Oh, it was a bee in a bottle. So Baliame does use his blue potion there.
Well, what's interesting is Dawn doesn't know that this is a crystal because he hasn't been to the Dark World yet to check his map. Yeah, I wouldn't say the sword advantage is really that great between Butter and Tempered. It's Tempered one-shots most of the enemies. That Butter also one-shots, so it's kind of small. The bigger advantage is that Dawn has done dungeons that baliame will eventually have to do.
Yeah, and Gold Sword, like, there are a handful of bosses where Gold Sword makes a reasonable difference. Trinex, maybe a little bit of time on Vitreous, helps a lot on Cold Stare, but and a little bit on Ganon, but not Helmasaur too, yeah. Goes from 4 Tempered Slashes to 2 Gold Sword slashes, I think. So
Fire Rod making this turtle room a lot more manageable. I think Dawn wants to get rid of sword beams because they're a hindrance. They just keep dropping hearts. What a troll. He's on red mail and just cannot keep these sword beams off. It's it's kind of funny, actually.
Sword beams, convenient sometimes.
I already said, oh, red mail, oh no, and we're seeing that right here. Like, red mail is slowing him down in this room because he keeps trying to get rid of the beams and just can't.
This is like the turtle room is always so weird to me because the hammer hitbox is so small in against every enemy in the game except for turtles, in which case it is gigantic and knocks over turtles when you are nowhere near actually hitting them with the hammer.
It also doesn't just knock them over, but it unknocks them over too.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
It sucks.
Dawn gets a crystal number 3 here, along with a blue boomerang. Where's Dawn headed next, do we think?
Is it just Dark World? I think that's it for him. I don't know if there's anything left that's not Dark World. I mean, there's King's Tomb, but King's Tomb sucks. He keeps trying to check his map. If he mirrors here, he can check his map, but he's not going to do that. A cool thing about the map check, though, so we got Mire Pendant and TR Green Pendant, which means a couple things. First of all, it means that the cane might not be needed. Second, it means that we might want to think about how are we doing Swamp, because if we can avoid Pendant Mire, that would be ideal. Did you notice if Dawn picked up a small key in Hera?
I did not notice. I think no.
Ooh, okay. So no small key available.
Could that small key be locked in the basement?
It can, and it's not meant to be spent in Swamp, but if we
makes it a lot easier.
If we can safely spend it and ignore the basement because it's not an item, then we can skip Pendant Mire. But
without that key, we might be forced to go into Pendant Mire.
That's what it sounds like, and both of them did Dark Cross from the back, so they can't steal a key out of there either. There's a way you can set up your keys so that you can clip to Dark Cross from Hera and then steal a key from Keyrat, but they did not set up for that, so they don't have that option. Okay, Dawn figured it out. He's screen wrapping. Has he been to the Pyramid Fairy?
He is not.
Okay.
So that's what this is, I
Definitely
assume.
the obvious thing to do then.
Yeah.
And this is his first trip into the Dark World, despite having already been to Pod. You start to think of the dungeons and the world separately when you play this mode. Like it's, you think, oh, Pod is a Dark World dungeon, but it's not. It's Underworld, and Underworld is separate from Dark World.
Right, where all of the overworld locations are on the same sheet, and all the underworld locations are on the same sheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how they are associated, rather than in a non-glitch mode where they're associated based on their physical locations in the game.
And Underworld is it's a besides being a big sheet, like Overworld is also a toggle. Like it's just one map that gets toggled between Light and Dark World, and the game can get confused about which one you're in. For example, if you die in a dungeon in the Dark World, the game will try and put you in the Light World because it thinks you haven't beat Aghanim yet, so you don't have Dark World access. This is vanilla behavior that's patched out in normal randomizer, but we leave it in here because it's vanilla and we can use it to our advantage.
Question in chat. These glitches are in logic, right? Most of them are, I would say.
Yeah, there's a few things you might see that people are doing out of logic, and I'll try to point them out when we see them, but most of them are in logic. You can assume that if somebody is using their boots to get around, that they're expected to do so.
Yeah, hybrid major glitches is essentially the overworld glitches rule set plus 4 otherwise major underworld glitches.
So while kind of our runners are cleaning up each other's checks, why don't you give them a follow? I'll give him a little history as well. Dawnvenure entered the glitch scene very recently as a runner in the Overworld Glitches Mentor Tournament, coming from mostly just from playing League and other competitive modes, has decided to pick up glitch modes this year. Baliame is a person from the past who has kind of written the book on doing overworld glitches. I actually learned from his tutorials.
I was say literally, I've seen that tutorial and tried to follow some of it to varying degrees of success.
Yeah, and he also has like a website from like 2 years ago where that has a bunch of overworld glitches on it that you can learn from, and I sort of pulled from that as well a lot. So he's definitely one to watch out for. You might see some tech that has been forgotten because, you know, he learned it 2 years ago, and sometimes things get forgotten, and we all learn from each other by watching.
That was a nice little NMG boom strat in that room, in the boomerang room by Dawn. I like it.
Yeah, it's nice. You don't usually have the boots for that. I think he kind of probably has a lot of practice with casual boots and other random modes that were done in like League and Ladder.
Yeah, no, that's always nice to, like, really nice to have the boots in the escape sequence. Lets you do all kinds of fun stuff. Makes it even faster.
Let's try with the fire rod dash.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it went off screen. Disappointing escape, though.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of nothing in escape. Both of our runners ended up doing it, but yeah.
So Dawn has the opportunity. He has a blue potion, right?
I believe so, yes. Baliame had to use his, but I think that Dawn still has his.
He has the opportunity to do a fake flute on the pyramid ledge screen. He's hoping to find one here. Oh, that palette is really cool. That's not a blue potion. Oh, he got stuck in the pyramid. He can fix it. He just has to do some inputs. There you go. Oh, it's his bunny sprite. That's right. Okay, so where's Baliame going? He might take a stab at Hera again, even though it's out of logic. Like, it's not going to be his Moon Pearl, because the Moon Pearl is logically locked behind Meyer, and you're expected to have a Moon Pearl for that. He's going to go for Hook Speed Hera Pot, having not had success with the bomb. There we go. So Dawn's doing the fake flute. He's trying to use the potion on the screen transition. And that confuses the game into what he's actually doing and thinks he's fluting, so he'll put him in the flute menu.
And this lets you flute in the Dark World.
Yes.
Is the idea, right? Yeah.
And also, you arrive with Super Bunny and can get a link state from a tree pole or a Thieves Town pole. And then you can do some things that mostly not in logic, but there are a couple things you're supposed to get to with Mirror. Oh, he messed up. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Baliame hooked a little bit too early and hit that spark and fell down from the Hera big chest. We've all done that before.
He almost fell again. That would have been sad.
Yeah, that would have been real sad.
All right, let's pay attention to the key, the small key situation, because that's going to be very important.
I'm pretty sure that I saw Dawn was... I thought Dawn was in there for a hot second during those clips, and I was pretty sure that there was no
small key, because
it's locked in the basement.
Book is on Moldorm, so yeah, that's unfortunate, but it's also interesting to us because we get to see the intended route to Swamp instead of the sort of hacked version that we do with Harapot.
So Dawn is activating the flute here, the real flute.
I think he wants to buy potions.
That makes sense.
And having an active flute lets you do that more easily. He also hasn't done Sick Kid yet. It's another thing you could do with the bottle. It's a glitch called Check Sick Kid.
It's a good glitch. I know that one at least. All right, baliame with that book, and more importantly, the crystal from Moldorm. That book, totally unrequired in this seed.
Oh, magic powder.
Yeah, we found powder before, so Dawn's going to check magic bat here.
Powder was fairly early. I remember them both picking it up in one of the...
I don't remember where it was, but did baliame accidentally clip into the tablet there?
Spin speed clip into tablet, yeah.
Whoops.
So when you're in spin speed state, even if you're not going fast, you kind of ignore collision a little bit, and that sort of thing can happen. But we also use it to clip out of bounds in thin rails. You'll see a lot of people arming hook speed or spin speed. That's what they're doing. See a potion shop visit. Going to buy a blue potion. I can only imagine. Because I think to him, he knows that it's in the Dark World now. He hasn't been to Super Bunny Cave. I think Baliame is going there now. He also hasn't been to the Village of Outcasts. The 2 chests that you can mirror Super Bunny into are in Logic.
So now that Dawnvenure has those potions, where is he thinking that he's going to try to go with this fake flute?
Usually you go to 3, and 3 gets you to the 2 in Village of Outcasts that are in Logic. And then you could also take that, after doing that, he can go to Skullwoods and die in there to get Link State. And then that's in Logic too. Everything except the back, because the back you had to go through the dungeon to get, and the game thinks that you can kill Aga at any time, so it thinks that you can prevent yourself from getting a fake Dark World Link State, so it doesn't expect you to do back of Skullwoods. But the front is perfectly fair game.
Well, that was interesting. We saw, rather than getting Super Bunny through in the cave falling down, looked like baliame did some stuff on the overworld screen and got Super Bunny, jumped off one of the ledges. Does that arm Super Bunny as well?
He did Super Bunny Cave, the reason it's called Super Bunny Cave when you drop down the hole, because he climbed it. He dropped down the ledge, I think, because he needed to use that entrance to get that version of Super Bunny. But right. I don't know if he knows this, but you can also get Mirror Super Bunny at the top entrance.
Yeah. I didn't see him... Because he was able to... Oh, you can use the mirror without being in Super Bunny. That's how he was able to do it.
Exactly. And there it is, Moon Pearl in Village of Outcasts that Dawn has also used Mirror Super Bunny for. You can see now it's in Logic to do that because he's... And
we're finally in the Dark World proper.
Baliame is using an older method to get to Hobo. It's you just clip to the out of bounds area and then you can fake flipper from that ledge. So Dawn is in the Dark World. We got a nice, interesting Moon Pearl location, which I'm always happy to see.
Must be kind of disappointing to be playing a mode like this and get the Moon Pearl in like Link's house or something like that. It's
yeah,
like, oh man.
I have one of the least favorite locations for Moon Pearl is like Pendant Eastern. Nobody wants to do that, right?
Nobody wants, yeah. Except for Dawn, who did it immediately
he had the bow.
He did the bow, yeah.
Sometimes you just have to go in the Eastern without the bow for the Moon Pearl, and you just do that last because it's boring, and nobody wants to do the boring stuff. They want to do fake flute to village, and if you're feeling really spicy, you can even just start playing without the Moon Pearl. Like you can go to Ganon's Tower with a 1-frame clip and find a bunch of stuff there, and then be like, okay, now I'm ready to go to Eastern. I found a bow somewhere, but that's anytime you're playing without the Moon Pearl, you're losing time. So it's a gamble.
Right, yeah, because in order to do much of anything, you have to do some shenanigans there to get yourself into link state. So that makes sense.
Baliame is coming to the same conclusion that he needs to go to the Dark World somewhere, so he's bought a blue potion. And will probably be following Dawn's footsteps. Ooh, God Pixel. Very good.
Nice.
Love to see it.
Mr. Bus Driver asks if Merle can be in Turtle Rock or Gannett's Tower in this mode, logically.
Also, I think we're in Flipper's Go mode. Just wanted to point that out.
Oh, yeah. Yep, so we are.
We need the Flippers for Swamp, and that's it.
So yeah, is there anywhere where the Moon Pearl can't be?
Plenty of places. Anything that would require you to get that link state from a fake flute, as opposed to just walking as a bunny, is not going to be in logic. So, like, you can see that he has Super Bunny, he's dashing, because fake flute just gives you that. And then when he pulls on Thieves Town, it's going to give him link state. But the real logical way to get here is to just clip off the mountain with the mirror, and you don't get Super Bunny from that. So pulling this to get link state is not going to be expected of you. But he's going to open this bombable hut, but the Moon Pearl's not going to be there. And he knows that.
But he's doing that now. Why?
So for efficiency. I think if he doesn't find the Moon Pearl here, he still wants to be able to do the checks. And not have to come back for it later. And same goes for Thieves Town. Like, this is a crystal he can do. He's just going to do it now. He needs to not get hit by a bunny beam, because he'll lose his link state.
And there's no way to reset that once you're in Thieves Town.
You could die and get
you
fake
have to die.
Dark World.
Right, yeah. But then you'd have to restart the whole dungeon again, or at least come from the entrance.
Yeah,
So.
some people will just preemptively die and set up their fake world so they don't have to worry about it. And also means that when they exit, they'll be on that Thieves Town screen, the Village of Outcasts screen. But they'll be in like a light world state, so they'll be able to do the checks on that screen. As long as they don't transition off the screen, then they'll just be in the light world again and be sad.
Does entering one of the buildings count as transitioning off the screen?
No, it's overworld transitions that trigger it.
Okay, great. All right, here's Blind from Dawnvenure. 2 sections of script done. 7, 8, and 9 a little late, but that's fine. That's crystal number 4 for Dawn.
So, yeah, so people are asking other places Moon Pearl could have been. Turtle Rock is also mirror clippable, so you could go into the middle and clip there. As long as it's not one of those Samaria lock things, because they don't have Samaria. Anything they can walk to from the big chest room is going to be in logic. GT is not clippable without one-frame clips or fake flutes, so that is not going to have the Moon Pearl. If I was the runners, by the way, I would go to GT soon, because they need to know if Cane is required. That's the one thing that could require the Cane in this mode. Benefit of getting the fake world here is you can get rats instead of crickets, but I think probably the reason he's chosen not to is because he's on red mail and that would take too long to death warp. It doesn't mean that he's going to have to mirror Super Bunny to get the pearl instead of just walk there. I keep saying like fake world. If you do get that by accident and you have the mirror, you can actually mirror back to the dark world as long as you don't leave that screen, because the mirror just checks that you're on a dark world screen. It doesn't care what world you're actually in, and it'll just toggle your world state. So it'll be treated as if you're like entering one of those warp tiles. All right, Dawn's showing us why we don't need a flute to get into Mire. There's going to be some rain that flashes. The rain does not load properly because it expects you to get there from the portal, and we didn't do that. So we have to
get that one frame there to get into Mire Shed. It's always nice.
I think he actually got iframes from splashing in the water.
That's what I meant. Yeah, it's pretty tight though to do that.
So Quake is in logic. He's opening it. This is a pendant, but I think he knows he doesn't have another way into Swamp. So Unless swamp is vanilla, like vanilla small key, which it doesn't have to be. It's placed anywhere in the dungeon because it expects you to use a mire key. You might go through mire and exit from swamp and then check Hype Cave from there, which is a really cool route I like to see.
Oh yeah, that's fancy.
It orphans Stumpy a little bit. He can walk from Hype Cave to Stumpy if he wants to. This is going to do something that he knows he has to do eventually, so he's not really losing time, even though it is a pendant dungeon. And he can also open chests on the way and maybe find something good.
Ooh, we got a weird color palette over there on Baliame's side.
He's showing off a glitch called LSD blind, where you press select while blind is transforming, and it interrupts the transition and kind of confuses the game, and you get this weird palette, and the door doesn't close.
Oh, it does get off script here a little bit.
It's I've done this before. It's hard to script blind because he can't see what you're doing.
Yeah, that is really hard to see in that, in particular in the little sunbeam there.
Yeah, blind's shirt is like the same color as the light square, so it's hard.
There is crystal number 3 for Baliame. Still one crystal behind that Desert Palace crystal that he has not made his way over to yet. We have seen exactly nothing of worth in any chest in a dungeon at all.
Baliame is showing the value of red mail and trying to death warp in here with full health, which is kind of why a lot of people just do it preemptively, because they don't want to have full health for it from fighting blind. Shoutouts to the red mail.
Shoutouts to red mail. It's for cowards.
It's worse. It's a hindrance. It's bad. You don't want it. Blue mail is good. Blue mail is great. Red mail is bad.
Tell that to my NMG time. All right, well, Baliame going to get that Moon Pearl here shortly. It is in C-shaped house.
Yeah, if we had his audio, we could hear the Light World music playing. I actually have them muted, so I don't know who we're hearing, but
we do have Baliame's.
Great. So you'll hear Light World music because we're in the Light World, and the game doesn't know we're in the Dark World anymore.
Obviously, you can tell we're in the Light World. Just look at the map. It's clearly this is clearly Hakuriko Village, as you can tell.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
This is super tricky though because it looks identical to Village of Outcasts, so you can forget and then transition off screen and be like, "Wait, why am I here?" Dawn has clipped to Hera from Mire. Blink and you miss it. He's in Hera now. His next step is to go into Swamp, and then we're going to see another clip down here.
That was funny, because that clip with the bomb looked like he was just frustrated from having to do cutscene, but no, it was on purpose here to do one of these glitches that is part of the hybrid part of this mode.
And the moving the wall for cutscene is actually kind of important. If you're going to do the bomb clip method, as opposed to like a dash clip into the wall, you do need to move the wall because the wall will get in your way if you try not to. If you try to bomb clip without the wall moved, the collision will be different.
Oh, that's
so
weird.
Dawn is setting up a teleport here using a bomb clip. This used to just be done with one-frame clips, and it was awful, and then somebody discovered bomb clips, and it was amazing, and everybody wanted to play this mode and category in the speedrun.
Having some trouble with the setup here. Is this a problem with the timing? The positioning? Oh, he's got it now.
It's pixel particular, so he needed to correct his pixel, and depending on his, he didn't bring a key. No, that sucks. Yeah, he didn't open enough chests in Mire to get a key.
Yeah, he had one key, and he opened the door there out of the drain room.
That's really unfortunate. All of that effort lost. He's going to have to come back and do that again later. If he gets the flippers, he might just check the first chest of swamp and hope it's a key, but it's usually not. It's literally just a flat 1 out of 10 chance. Because the key gets placed first, so...
Right.
Well, the big key gets placed first, but it doesn't really matter.
Oh, vanilla shovel.
Oh, and you can just mirror and check it, like in NMG. Neat. Oh, bombos. For nothing.
For TR.
Oh, cool. And then TR, right? We can already clip to. We don't need bombos.
Yeah. Who needs
and
that?
nice, we already have Fire Rod for.
Meanwhile, baliame working his way through Skull Woods in a depressingly normal way, I have to say.
It's a crystal you can do. Again, it's not really that bad. It's just kind of, he's going north, Dawn's going south. Dawn can always come back there with the hammer and glove, or you can clip off the mountain and check checkerboard on the way. Say distressingly normal a lot. There's the cane. We don't have to worry about Ganon's Tower being cane locked anymore.
And the OK Boomerang. You'll love to see it.
All right, this is a flippers wrap. He doesn't have the flippers. Dawn, thank you.
All right.
Do the mirror wrap. You have the mirror.
This is headed to Ice Palace, right?
This is also out of logic, but it's dungeon he can do. So without the logic here, he's doing what we call a mirror wrap, and the logic does not expect mirror wraps. Those are something that are in major glitches mode, but not hybrid major glitches. But there is a different wrap that uses flippers that would have put ice in logic, but we don't have the flippers. So I'm kind of curious if he recognizes that he's in flippers go mode. Because he should be go moding swamp, or go moding ice.
Right,
now,
yeah, because...
Maybe, because the mitts can also open up ice. You can fake flipper to pick up the rock and then just go there, and that's also in logic, but like I don't know if I would do this until I have the mitts.
What is he trying to do right now here?
So you see that diagonal wall there? And
yep.
As you can see, diagonal walls have a history of being porous and clippable and
yep.
having shoddy collision, so we're trying to clip ourselves through a wall with a bomb.
And where will that leave him if successful? I guess we'll see right here. Oh,
yeah,
all right.
Just nice. More of ice pile. Just more. He ran out of bombs. He needs the cane. Yeah, that's good. Wow, clutch cane, by the way. He couldn't have gone through this room otherwise.
Oof.
Or through IPBJ or any of that. Like, he can't bomb that. No, he can do the cane. He just needs to. He's trying different things. The cane does work, though. You just have to finagle it.
But I'm gonna do this the intended way.
Fair enough. The clip only saves a little time. The logical significance of it is he's gonna clip again. He realizes, wait, if I clip here with the bomb, I won't have a bomb. So he might do a dash clip instead.
Oh no, he's gonna leave and buy the bomb upgrade here.
Probably smart to do that because you want bombs and ice. Like, bombs are so important in this dungeon.
Yeah, I ran out of bombs in this dungeon a while ago, and it was a bad time.
So baliame's found an item. Is that the last one?
That is the last one. There were two pieces of heart there. One in the map chest there, and the other in the big chest. So nothing. Our streak of nothing useful being in dungeons continues.
That's true. Everything's just been overworld.
Everything, like literally everything has been in the overworld. I'm not sure that we've gotten a significant item in a dungeon at all.
We have been one item from Go mode since Moon Pearl. It's kind of insane how much this has opened up for the runners. And not in a good way. Like, we could go to Turtle Rock, which is a pendant. Like, we could do a lot of stuff we don't want to do to look for that.
Right.
The one thing we can't do is swamp, which is good, and then Dawn is doing ice, which will only be in logic if we find the mitts.
And we know that the flippers can't be in here, so the only way that so there's not going to be anything useful in here then, right?
Well, it can be the flippers. If we find the flippers, then we'll know that the mitts are out there somewhere.
Oh,
we don't care about the mitts, but we also want to go mode ice if we can, so putting this off could have saved time if he doesn't get lucky and find flippers here.
Yeah, and this seems like a play that he's only making because he didn't get enough keys in Mire to open up Swamp all the way.
Yeah, he might be feeling behind to that extra Mire dip. Baliame's continuing his South Dark World route. I think he realized he didn't check Sick Kid, so he's going to do that.
Yeah.
He might do Magic Bat if we didn't see that as well.
I got another free blue potion from Ice Palace. There's 2 items there. I feel like we're in a bit of an interesting place in this race where Dawn has been, I think, pretty comfortably.
Ooh, nice.
Nice stair clip there, yeah. Pretty comfortably in the lead for a good while. Had the Moon Pearl first. Some rounding decisions worked out better for Dawn in the early game. baliame has kind of been slowly making up ground, and could be that kind of error in Mire and Swamp could end up being a difference maker in this race. We'll see. baliame is looks like to be headed into to do exactly this stuff. So we'll see if he handles the Mire and Swamp situation a little bit better than Dawn did.
You might also just not do it yet. Like, you might just say, I'll do Mire later. Because I don't have the flippers yet. Swamp's out of logic without the flippers. Like, even though you can walk through those rooms, you're expected to flood that middle room and lock yourself out. So the game expects you to have flippers for Swamp for every single chest.
But doing it anyway, I'm not sure. There aren't, where could these flippers be at this point?
Well,
Turtle Rock seems like the place that is most likely at this point, right?
I would argue Ganon's Tower is better.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's literally every single chest is available, and they're not junk filled. There's 27 chests in there that can have the flippers. Well, okay, there's like 20 whatever, minus the dungeon items. But there's a lot.
baliame gonna be picking up crystal number 5 here as Dawn gets crystal number 5 as well.
Oh, pretty tied up on crystals then, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, Dawn is still kind of ahead in a way.
Yeah, all Dawn just needs a Skull Woods, which is very fast here. But up here on Death Mountain.
Oh, Dawn has 4 crystals. Oh no, Dawn he has 5. Ice just has
just finished yet. Ice. That's not marked yet. Yeah.
I rely on the tracker so much. Shout outs to our tracker, Maddie Walkherd. Give him a follow.
Right. Is this the GT clip that we're going to see here from Dawn?
This is Turtle Rock, or East Death Mountain.
Oh, okay.
I think East Death Mountain, because the Hookshot Cave is also very dense.
Oh,
you can do a lot here. I don't think he went to Super Bunny Cave.
I think that's correct. Yeah, he doesn't do anything over here.
This is just pure density. Like, there's so much you can find here. And go moding GT can save a lot of time as well, so I can see why you might want to put it off when you're 1 item from go mode.
Yeah, please. It's a tricky situation there, right? Where it's like, all right, it would be really nice if I could skip all of this nonsense, but also it's, I'm 1 item from go mode, and it's very likely that the flippers are in there. So a difficult decision to make for sure. All right, Hookshot Cave. These checks are new on Dawnvenure side. There is a big 20 and a piece of heart. So we see baliame into Mire. 50 rupees. Last chance. Just 10 arrows. Absolute trash in Hookshot Cave today.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to Dawn and Mire, whether he found 2 items or not. I'm curious to see what we see on this side, and whether baliame recognizes that he needs a key to bring into Swamp before he goes there. Because I imagine he's here. Oh, Dawn's doing a Skull Woods. This is another dangerous map wrap. Dawn likes these, apparently.
Oh, that's interesting. Skullwood. Oh, it's gonna wrap around the map from the other side.
Exactly, and it's he's gonna tiptoe around some collision. At least you can see the collision this time. There you go.
Nice.
And walk. The good thing about him is if he hard locks, he doesn't really lose anything. He saved and quit.
That's true, yeah.
This is actually a really good time to do Skullwoods. It does orphan catfish.
Yeah, that was the other place that you could get to up from Dark Death Mountain catfish there.
You have a choice between catfish and a dungeon. that you have to do. That has
you
two
do the
items in
dungeon.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, do the dungeon.
Pretty
do catfish
easy
later
decision
if you have
there.
to.
Yeah.
You can always do TR and then exit TR and do catfish as well. So as long as you have a plan to return, it's not really an orphan.
So we are just over an hour in. Let's reset for anybody who might just be joining us. This is Qualifier race number 7 for the Link to the Past Randomizer Hybrid Major Glitches Tournament. Bracket's going to be starting very soon. My name is Tyler Salt. I'm joined in the booth by experienced glitch runner Malmo. We've got Madewalk Herd on the buttons doing tracking for us, and we've got Dawnvenure and Baliame are 2 of 11 runners in this qualifier race here for seeding and participation in said tournament. Here we are in a flippers hunt here. The only thing that we need left for go. Baliame doing the cutscene here, has 1 key. Needs to get another key before going to Swamp, correct?
Yes. Well, the 1 key is fine. He just needs to not spend it in Mire.
Oh,
I think that's what Don had done.
Okay.
Because there's no key doors between here and the clip to Swamp. He just needs to have one to exit that room that has the floodgate. That's what the key is for. Nothing on PED from Don. Flippers could have been on PED. That's true. That's a good check to do.
Yeah, no, it's a good time for that. Baliame did not do that while in the area, interestingly.
I wonder if he just thinking he didn't have the cane yet, so he didn't care. Like, you don't care about pedestal until you can do it.
Right, that makes sense. Where was that cane? I don't remember.
Hype Cave.
It was in Hype Cave.
So it's like if you're doing this route, it's always going to be after Mire.
Yeah. Oh.
That's fine because Mire isn't really Mire, it's Swamp. That's all we
Right.
care about right now.
Not often that you see a 100+ minute Hype Cave check.
Yeah, also, Baliame has a key. This is really good. This is going to allow him to open Swamp. As long as he remembers not to open the floodgate here, he'll be okay. If he opens the floodgate, he locks himself out until he has flippers. Which is the reason flippers are required for every chest in Swamp. Very smooth bomb clip.
Yeah.
Correctly not flooding.
Okay, so you have to open up that door, then go get the key from the pot here, then flood it, right?
Well,
or don't flood it.
Don't flood it because he doesn't have the flippers. But if he had the flippers, he could diver down that.
I see.
Save a little time if you have the cane. I think actually I timed it. I don't save time if I'm using bombs. So you should, yeah, if you diver down at the speed that I do with bombs, then you should.
But we'll be able, yeah.
Opening these chests is risky, but actually it's fine for him because we know flippers won't be here. It's risky because if he finds the big key, it gets assigned to Mire instead of Swamp. And then he orphans the big chest of Swamp and would have to swim there from Mire State to open it.
But we know that if something happens to be in that chest, it will not be important.
Yeah.
Or not be required, at least.
It could have been the cane, but like, we know it's not, but the cane is kind of a weird one because you're expected to have 3 keys to go to Swamp from Mire. And if the key is on Vitreous, then Swamp is cane locked. It's very strange logic in this mode. But
yeah, key logic is already can already be kind of impenetrable. Just in non-glitched modes, it's just so much more to keep track of here. So Dawn in Spike Cave, we haven't seen this yet. No flippers though.
That's why I like the name Hybrid because we're not just hybridizing modes; we're also hybridizing dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mire Swamp Hera is like one big dungeon.
One giant dungeon.
It's a big amalgamate. Dawn is going to go to GT. This is probably the correct play. It's just so many checks. I mean, I say that the flippers could just be somewhere terrible, but
I mean, this is this is pretty terrible for them to be. Like we're running out of spots here.
The big key in GT really determines whether GT is going to lose you time or not. Because like if it's in vanilla chess, then you have to full clear it anyway to get to it.
Right. There's a lamp in GT. That's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like pod. Like if you go mode it, you might get lucky and get an early big key, but you also might just have to get chess number 22, and you might as well have full cleared it.
Baliame headed back to desert here. Oh, he hadn't done checkerboard cave yet.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to mirror, and I think because he went through Meyer, he decided to come back here with Stumpy.
And he's going to do Bombo's tablet as well.
This is a nice little loop he's doing, like wrapping in these checks that he orphaned earlier by doing desert slightly earlier than Dawn did. That's kind of the theme of this mode, is like if you orphan checks, you can almost always find a way to bring them back. Because there's so many different ways to get around.
Much easier to get to some of these orphan checks when walls aren't a thing.
Walls are a tool.
Right, yeah, they're not a barrier. They're an opportunity. Nothing in the Stalfos room here. Baliame also headed into GT at this point. So we at this point we've seen some nice convergence from our runners. Dawn is about 10, 11 checks ahead.
Yeah, Dawn is kind of in a lead, except with the exception that Baliame has already unlocked Swamp and Dawn hasn't. So however long it takes to go back through Meyer and open doors, that's just pure loss from what Baliame has. But Baliame doesn't have Ice Palace, so they might actually be neck and neck right now if they find flippers. It's really hard to gauge that. Yeah,
because Ice is very quick in Go mode, right? And so is Swamp, but you do have that extra little bit of having to go through Misery Mire and Tower of Hera to get into Swamp.
Once you're in Swamp, it's fast, but getting in is it's a surgical operation.
I mean, to be fair, also true in non-glitched modes, where getting into Swamp Palace is the slowest part of Swamp Palace.
Oh,
there are the flippers. So at 1 hour and 16 minutes and 30 some odd seconds, Dawnvenure is in Go mode.
Just one thing left to find in here, and that's the big key, showing why we do GT when we can, because this would not have been Go modable even if the flippers weren't here. He would have had to continue down this route no matter what.
And so we'll see Dawn climb the tower and kill off Agate 2 afterwards, and then continue on, and then come back again, I would imagine.
This is really exciting. I'm super curious to see who's actually ahead. Because Baliame can go to Swamp just from the front door and then exit Swamp and do Ice in Go mode. Dawn still has to do Meyer into Swamp, and has already done Ice. So Ice in Go mode is really quick, but does it balance out against the extra Meyer dip? I don't know.
We will find out shortly here on SpeedGaming 5. Baliame mirroring out, gonna go to the right side and head to Ice Armos there. There is our big key in the vanilla room, one chest to the left.
That's okay. Well, Dawn just took a lead just from that alone. I think having to do left side of GT or right side of GT all the way to Ice Armos is going to hurt.
Yeah.
At least he doesn't do tile room. Sometimes you do tile room because you're used to just full clearing the place, and you're sad because you realize, oh wait, tile room is actually not what you do when you're looking for a big key.
No, yeah.
I do that all the time. People probably think I'm gambling. I'm just used to doing tile room because it's a mode where you full clear GT. Also, tile room is a key. I think it has to be. I'm not sure, but Dawn has 2 keys, and usually when you exit there with 2 keys, and you have the big key, then tile room has to be a key.
That sounds right to me.
Don't take my word for it. I'm very loose with my GT logic.
GT logic, mostly a suggestion anyway. Right, Dawn in this gauntlet climb, getting bullied by the BMOS a little bit here in room number 3 with the Blues AVAX.
I didn't really think about... Go ahead.
I was going to say, still the single most frustrating thing about this game to me, maybe not single most, but is that the mirror shield doesn't block BMOS beams. That frustrates me to no end. It's so dumb.
I agree. And the BMOS beams can block your stuff.
Yeah, come on.
But you can't block their stuff.
Ridiculous.
That's unfair. Why does the BMOS get to block my hookshot and boomerang?
Right? Come on,
nice.
Programmers.
Oh,
just missed.
That's like RNG dependent, but it sure looks cool when it happens. Ooh, almost. So, not only does Dawn have to go back through Meyer, but he also has to get a key. He has to open chests in there. That's going to slow him down a little bit, giving up some of this lead he gained in Cannon's Tower.
Now, chances are, right, that, that shouldn't take too much time, right? You just run up and check the bridge chest. It is, it's some time for sure, but not a ton.
As long as you don't unlock too many key doors in there, you're probably fine. Like, forcing yourself to go to video would be the worst case scenario, but I think you have to spend your keys in a particularly bad way for that to happen. Yeah. Do you think baliame knows he's in go mode? Because he didn't mirror out.
No, that was weird, because he went to the big chest just looking for a key, I guess.
He only needs 1 to climb.
You only need 1 to climb? Yeah, no, I know.
Silvers, maybe?
Maybe? I get that. That seems like a weird play. I don't know why you don't.
Yeah, he's a really experienced runner. I don't think he needs silvers. And there's plenty of on-the-way checks in Swamp and Ice that you could look. And upstairs in GT.
That are faster than the GT big chest.
Like, I don't see Dawn doing too many, although he's doing these.
That's interesting. What could they... silvers are like the only thing, right? I don't know what else they could possibly be looking for.
Mitts would make Ice Palace faster for baliame.
Oh, that's true. Mitts in the Moldorm 2 chest would be fun. As someone who doesn't play glitch modes, that's one of my favorite things about watching and doing comps for this is that you get some stuff in some really weird places that you wouldn't normally see, and that's always entertaining to me. Stalfos giving baliame some trouble. Dawn into the Aga 2 fight. Remember, we are not headed directly to Ganon after this. Both of our runners still need to finish Swamp Palace. baliame still also needs to finish Ice Palace. So we'll see. We'll be able to see what's faster, Ice Palace in go mode, or Dawn needing to go back into Swamp Palace through Misery and Tower of Hera again. So we shall find that out here in the last 10 minutes or so of this race.
It's unfortunate that Dawn did Hyrule Castle the way he did, because having done Back of Escape, you could have taken that key to Dark Cross from the front and opened the door and then done Key Rat Steal to get straight from Hera to Swamp, but it's one of those things that requires you to plan ahead and expect there to be no small key in Hera, and he knew that there was an item in Dark Cross when he found those, so he just went for it.
Still a little bit of work to do before we can go to the Ganon fight. Dawn fluting up to 1.
Does he remember that there's no key in Hera?
I don't know.
Oh, he realizes now.
He just did, yeah.
Good, good. He looked at his key counter. Sometimes you take the Hera small key for granted. It's really easy to just like... Is he gonna set up Swamp Dam? This isn't going to work. And he doesn't need to anyway because he can mirror from Swamp and just do it from there.
So is this just Dawn is perhaps forgetting what he's seen? Oh, well, that's just because you're in the light world. That's not gonna work.
No, it's. I know what he's trying to do. So normally when you clip from Hera to Swamp, he still thinks he needs the small key. Like he's unfortunately going to try and go to Swamp without a key. But unless he did have a key from Myra and unlock the door and I just didn't notice. Do you think that's what happened?
I thought he did unlock the door. He didn't go. Oh. I thought he did, but he didn't go and get the key or check the first chest.
Oh, then he's fine.
Okay.
He had the key the whole time. I just didn't notice.
Yeah, I thought that. I was gonna say I thought that he did unlock the door. I was just gonna take your word for it. That like maybe there was more to it than that. That he needed to go and open the front door.
It's because I expected him to do a certain route, and he was just there to unlock the first door.
Okay.
And then he mirrored out so he could continue on his overworld route, which is actually pretty smart. That would allow you to do Stumpy and all that stuff without having to walk back from Hype Cave.
Yeah.
Because now he opened his door. That's what he needed to do. He only needs to open one door because now every other door has a key on the way. He did set up the dam so that when he walks out, the dam will be flooded and swamped because he never did an overworld transition.
Yeah, but you can see that door is open there now.
Yeah. Oh, he's perfectly fine. I've been completely misreading what's been going on the entire 30 minutes that...
Whoops.
Dawn is more ahead than I thought.
Question in chat. Couldn't he just take the portal south of the house and go to Swamp the regular way? No, he couldn't have because the first chest in Swamp is not guaranteed to be a key, and in fact, we know that it's not.
So the reason I expected him to walk all the way through Swamp is because if he had done that, he would have been able to walk to the front of Swamp. And that would have been faster than clipping from Hera. So it would have been more efficient to do that, but I think he wanted to do Stumpy from where he was instead of having to walk back from Hype Cave.
So what he's doing is opening the front door now to check this chest and he's got to leave the dungeon and come back to actually be in Swamp and not in Hera.
Yeah, he's so you can see the water is there. That's why he was setting up when he saved and quit out of dam.
Right.
But he could also have just mirrored here and done the dam, and that would have been just as good. I think if you have the flute, it might be worth it to go to 7 and save and quit. I don't know what's faster, but both of them work just fine. So Dawn is a whole dungeon ahead of baliame. Like baliame has to do this and do Ice Palace because he didn't have to do the Meyer thing.
Seems like we've got some other participants from this qualifier race in chat, so GG's to y'all.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to correct your commentators when they're wrong. It's really hard to follow two runners at once, and it's very easy to miss things like opening a door.
Dawn's still looking for those silver arrows. Still opening some chests in the hopes that one of them will have the silvers, make that Ganon fight a little bit nicer. I guess you're right there. It doesn't take any time to open that, so... Dawn about to get crystal number 7 here off of Argus. Gonna run up.
He's going for the 0 cycle, but didn't quite make it.
No.
Still going to be a very fast 1 cycle.
Good poke strats there. It's still something
Very
that
nice.
I'd like to learn.
Oh, very nice quick kill too on phase 2.
Very nice. So we're not going to see that swamp small key. It's probably over on the left side.
Yeah, it's true. It's it could be like in the big chest or in the compass chest as well. It just gets placed without logic. The game really doesn't care. If it does get placed in the front, it can say, oh, okay, well now you can do swamp from the front. But Dawn is in the dark world. He knows it. He's gonna hammer and go back to the dark world through the portal. He also could have mirrored, and then that would have put him in the dark world. Probably just a tiny bit faster, but this works just as well.
Let's see, 7-8 time in chat, looking for the GT Big Key guessing game, which was done a while ago. We didn't even do the guessing game because we were still looking for the flippers too. But
yeah, we just don't do those. Like it's people go into GT sometimes in multiple trips. Sometimes they don't have the cane or they don't have the hammer.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Orange Koopa, who never found the Cane of Smarriott in Hype Cave.
Yeah, this seed could go really fast if you just go to GT. Like it's a go to GT seed because that's go mode. You could even do it before Moon Pearl if you one frame clip and have no Moon Pearl for the seed. Like that's super spicy, but it's why our top finisher has a 112 probably. You know, these people just go to GT and find their go mode there, and they have a really fast seed. Wow, that was a nice dash out again and circle paths.
Yeah, really nice 1-on-1 there on Dawn's side. Baliame still got to go beat Cold Stare. Baliame setting up for this mirror wrap.
Yeah, mirror wrap is something that can hard lock you if you also do it wrong, but I don't expect that from Baliame. He's really experienced, and mirror wrap is a pretty old tech that, you know, he probably has a ton of practice in.
Silvers were elsewhere in Ganon's tower. Turtle Rock TR. We did everything in Ganon's tower. That's right.
He's inching towards that dangerous transition.
Oh, he's got it.
He got it though, yeah. He knows he has progress to lose if he fails. He loses all of Swamp Palace if that had
had to be really careful there.
That broken transition on the screen edge is what breaks you. Like if you touch it, and I don't literally mean the top of your sprite. Like it's actually a few pixels above the top of your sprite that can touch it and you hard lock.
Yikes.
So you have to really be careful.
Meanwhile, get your GGs in chat for Dawnvenure. Taking down Ganon is going to finish this qualifying race in 7th place overall with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 5 seconds. So GG's to Dawn. And looks like we're going to be able to get Dawn in here for an interview shortly. And we are joined in the booth by Dawnvenure. GG, Dawn.
Jeez.
How was this seed for you?
It was kind of fun until I saw everyone done like 20 minutes before me.
Oh, yeah.
And then at that point, it's like, well, it has to be somewhere really accessible. And it turns out GT was the first dungeon you're supposed to dip. And then you just go mode every other dungeon.
It's
Seems
true.
that way.
Did you know Ice Palace was out of logic when you went there?
Nope.
Yeah, because you didn't have an entry. With the flipper wrap would have been your logical entry, and you didn't have the mitts.
Oh, yeah, that's not... The mirror wraps aren't in the logic yet, or at all.
I unfortunately didn't notice that when you went to Swamp from Meyer that you had brought a key and unlocked the door and then left. I thought you mirrored out because you forgot a key. And
Nope,
then
I
I
was-
spent the whole race thinking you had not unlocked Swamp yet, and was very confused about what you were doing in Hera.
Yeah. I felt like my execution for some glitches were pretty good. The first time going from like the fake flute probably cost me a couple minutes because I did some extra checks before going back and finding the moon pearl. I guess
Yeah,
that's like
like-
another big pain point of the seed was where moon pearl could have been because I did like everything, and then another thing that tripped me up was I accidentally marked Eastern Palace as a pendant. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have gone there so early and completed it. On top of that.
Oh, you would accidentally marked it as a crystal. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were wondering. It's just like, oh, this is a really spicy early play with that wrap.
I thought
wraps were fun. I like seeing
I
those.
really thought that Tower of Hera was the pendant at that point.
The map wraps from Mountain to Skull Woods is also really clever because it is dangerous, but you hadn't found anything in Hookshot Cave, so really the only risk to that was orphaning catfish.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool to see. And makes me want to learn that glitch again. So yeah, I was also like really excited to see fake footing from Pyramid because it's one of the nicer ways to get to Village from when you're in a no moon pearl situation. A little sad that you didn't make it, but the thought was there and it was cool to see. Do you know about the mirror bonk setup?
Nope.
If you mirror near the transition and then just like bonk to the transition, then you always want to do this coming from the right because the bonk won't always put you on the edge pixel, but if you're coming from the right, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And then you mirror, and then you're on the transition, and you can have a nice fake flute setup.
I'm gonna have to learn that. Try it out.
Now, as we see baliame headed into the Ganon fight here, Dawnvenure, Malmo mentioned that you're relatively new to glitch modes, right? You got your start in the Overworld Glitches mentor tournament sponsored by the Gomo podcast a couple months ago, correct?
Yeah.
How have you found your experience here learning all of these glitches? Obviously positive, considering you've kind of continued on and you're entering the HMG tournament here. But how have you found this experience, this process?
So when I was first signing up for the mentor tournament, I had the absolute most trouble with teleports. Like I could not teleport at all. I try it, fail, try it, fail, try it, fail. And then
I understand this situation because that's where I am. So I understand.
like eventually my how I gripped my controller to do the clips, I'd have the cord connected to it between my fingers, my index and my middle finger, to stabilize. But then when I was doing it, I accidentally broke my cable.
Oh wow.
And so I almost just gave up on the mentor tournament because my controller wouldn't even work. And because I broke the cable, so there's like, well, if I can't even play, there's no point. I don't know how to do the teleports. My controller's broken now. But I grabbed a thicker USB-C cable and connected it. Then it's a lot more stable. Which I don't have anymore because I'm playing on hardware, so I don't even have a cable anymore. But yeah, it's a little bit more stable. And then a mentor was like, "Hey, you got to move up 1 pixel. Hey, you got to move down 1 pixel." And that's what kind of like got me. It's like, oh, this is how to do teleports. And also for the longest time when I was doing it, I always was doing irregular teleports. So eventually I learned the correct ones.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with irregular. It's just like knowing the pixels, and it's almost easier to learn just knowing one setup rather than knowing like all 3 for every slope. Alright, get your GGs in chat for Baliame has finished with an official racetime.gg time of 1:38:27. All around fast seed for these runners.
Yeah, again, Chex Human, our number one finisher here in the race with a time of 1 hour, 12 minutes, 13 seconds. So, yeah, with most of our runners, we still have one runner outstanding here, but baliame finishing just under 1 hour and 40 minutes. Nice little spread there. And we're going to see if we can get baliame up here as well for a quick interview.
And we are joined by baliame. GG's.
If you're talking, we can't hear you. Hold up, mic issues. All right. Well, we're gonna have baliame in just a second here. So, Don, how have your qualifiers gone so far?
Besides this one, better than expected.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
I might just like log my score after this because this one was pretty bad for me. Like if the par time is like 113, 114, and then I'm 20 minutes after that, yeah, this is gonna be a really low score. So.
Do you have your 3?
Yeah, this is my third one.
Nice. Yeah, your third one doesn't matter. Like you just drop the one that's not good. And the good thing about these qualifiers is they're not eliminating. They're just there to seed brackets and have fun. People are having fun with these. We're getting consistent like 10-player turnouts for every single qualifier, which is blowing me away personally. And the fact that we're able to get a restream is thanks to our volunteers, our trackers, and our crew and SpeedGaming for making this possible.
All right. Looks like baliame is having some technical trouble. Not sure if he'll be able to figure out the mic situation. That's okay, baliame. GG, once again, if you can hear us. I hope you get that issue figured out here. And thanks for agreeing to be on the restream. We appreciate it. So, Malmo, this is a lot of fun. Like I said, this is the first time I've done comms for a glitch race, and I enjoyed myself a great deal.
I wouldn't even know you were not an experienced glitcher if you hadn't told me.
I've seen a couple of these, so I know the names of things and can track it. I can't do any of it, but I can see what they are, know what they are. Yeah, all right, this won't be my last one for sure.
No, and you know that we have a history of people getting into glitch modes by calming them first and realizing, wait, this is actually something I could learn. So if you ever want to learn, you can always pop into Discord and ask people in the Discord about how to do these glitches. This is true for anybody watching as well. You also don't need to be an experienced glitch runner to do commentary or tracking for these. If you pop into the tournament Discord, you can sign up for those crew rules.
All right. Well, with all of that said, once again, GG to both of our runners on the restream, Dawnvenure and baliame, and to everybody else who was in the race. And thank you again to the folks from SpeedGaming for setting up this restream, to Made Heard for doing the tracking for us, the unsung hero of any Link to the Past randomizer broadcast. And we're going to have, I believe there's another qualifier tomorrow night. That's correct, Mama?
Yes, correct. We have actually one qualifier every day of the week next week up until the weekend. So
Heck
Monday
yeah.
through Friday, tune in daily.
All right, let's see what else is coming up on the SpeedGaming schedule here today. Right now, over on SpeedGaming Prime, we have a qualifier for the combo Link to the Past and Super Metroid randomizer co-op tournament that's going over on SpeedGaming Prime here today. That is the last Link to the Past content on SpeedGaming for the rest of the day. We got some Aria of Sorrow and Luigi's Mansion, Dragon Warrior, and Super Metroid, some Zelda 1 a little bit later tonight. But thanks for joining us, everybody. Once again, my name is Tyler Salt. I was joined by Malmo in the booth. Pleasure to work with you. And thanks for watching, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day.